All right, welcome everybody. Episode 206 of the Michael Lab Show. We're sitting here in the corner of my bedroom coming at you with another podcast. It is Tuesday, July something. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% positive, but I do know it's July. And I also know that I am currently vlogging right now. You can see here I have my A5000 like I was speaking about in the last episode. This is my vlogging camera. Super simple. You can't see it if you're on video. You just flip it and you talk to your stuff like this and you just do your thing and you upload it. But like I said, there should be if there's not a video up already, there will be a video up very soon for my first vlog. I'm so damn excited. I don't know if I've really emphasized how much excitement I feel for it. My vocab sucks. I'm not smart. But I'm really excited for a few reasons. I haven't done a vlog in such a long time. And I know I wasted time talking about this on the last episode, but my podcast is a waste of time. So if you listen to it, then you're used to me just taking up your time. But I haven't been able to create something like that in a long, long time. And it's something that I've definitely... I don't know why I haven't been doing it. I mean, I can tell you like the simple reason. The simple reason is because of time. It's hard. Like it takes time to do a vlog, especially when you don't have anyone who does it for you. Like doing a vlog plus a podcast plus working plus going to school is not easy. It's not easy at all. But I have this fear that when I get older, there's gonna come a time where I'm like, holy shit, why didn't I do X, Y, and Z? I don't want that. I want to be like, yo, I did X, Y, and Z. Even if X, Y, and Z didn't work out for me, even if X, Y, Z like just took a freaking like nosedive into the planet and blew up on its way down, I don't care. Like I don't care about that. I just want to be able to do it. I want to say I did it, and I want to say I worked really hard on doing it. And that's how I feel about Call of Duty. I was watching I was on Twitter, and there was a guy named Dr. Disrespect who was at a basketball game. I think it was who was playing. It was the Atlanta Hawks versus the Phoenix Suns, maybe I don't know. I'm such a bad basketball fan. I like LeBron James. Anyways, I digress. And it was Dr. Disrespect. And it's so funny because I remember watching Dr. Disrespect like back in 2015, 2016, like back when he was a Call of Duty dude. Like that's what he used to do. He used to be like a Call of Duty commentator. And I used to like, I didn't know him personally, but I used to watch all his stuff, and he was small. It's such a small channel. Like all these guys that are like super huge now, like all these Call of Duty guys that are massive that I was coming up with. Like I don't really talk about it too much, but back when I used to do Call of Duty, I was one of the top players in the country, at least for like pub matches. And pub match, so they call you like a pub stomper. So you're somebody who you're really good in public play. Now I wasn't like a competitive player like the nade shots or like the optic scumpy, optic nade. Like I wasn't like one of those guys, but I was good at pub stomping. I had enough subscribers that I could get them all together, and we would go roll out, and we would just go 9-on-9, like ground war domination. I'll get there and run support for me. I'll throw on specialists, or I'll throw it on Blackboard, Chopper Gunner dogs, and we'll just go balls to the wall, and I'll just get 200 kills. And that's like my root of YouTube is like called the Call of Duty scene. And I remember doing it, and I was like, holy crap, this is gonna be huge. Like this is going to be a massive industry. And I knew it at the time, but the reason why I didn't continue doing it is because I let other things that I thought I should be doing take first priority. And I didn't balance anything. I have an extreme obsession personality trait, I guess you could say, for lack of better terms. So like if I want to do something and I'm already doing something else, I most likely will end up dropping it and just go crazy balls to the wall to the one thing. And I fail to kind of find that balance. So that's something I'm working on now. I'm trying to find like that balance of things. I'm trying to find the balance between podcasting and vlogging and schooling and all that and working, still like being able to have time with like my girlfriend and like friends. Well, basically just my girlfriend. That's a whole different episode, whole different podcast episode. Good old coffee and three Splenda. Coffee, if you ever do get into podcasting or if you are a speaker, coffee's not like what you want to do when you talk for a while, because it dries up your mouth and then it starts making you sound like you're just like sucking on tree bark. And people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear you sound like you're sucking off a tree. But anyways, I'm super excited to do that. I'm gonna keep everyone updated. I don't know. I might shoot for like 4 a month. I don't know, maybe once every 2 weeks, but it's something that I'm super excited about. And that brings me to a topic that I'm gonna kind of drag on in this episode, because I think it's a very important topic, and it's something that I've glanced over. I've glossed over it before, and it's this concept of staying like in your bubble. Like people, I see it a lot whenever I'm at like work or anything, or whenever I'm out in public with a majority of the population, not like the outcast. I love outcast. Like those are my people, and it's so weird because I think I've always embraced that, like being the outcast of a group, being the weird dude, being the dude who talks about aliens when everyone's talking about Shakespeare, or the dude who's like talking about like crazy things. Like, what if humans had dragonfly wings? Like, would we need cars? Like, what would we just be flying everywhere? And instead of flying, would we like take our time off in a car? Like, would like cars be like a luxury thing? Like, just so many random things that constantly go on in my head. And I love weirdos. Like, weirdos are my people. Those are the people I'm drawn to. And for so long in my life, I've always kind of pushed them away because I didn't want to be judged for loving weirdos and loving weird things and being a lunatic. Like, in a lot of ways, I'm crazy. Like, in a lot of ways, I am an iguana. An iguana. What's a thing that changes colors? A chameleon. A chameleonaire, like the rapper. But yeah, in a lot of ways, I'm a chameleon. I change. I've gone my whole life where I'm constantly just trying to blend into something or someone or a group. But I'm at the point now where I realize I'm not that. I'm an outcast. I like crazy things. I like to talk about weird things. I like to think about insane things. I don't judge myself on the thoughts I have. I read just a vast majority of things, and those are my people. And I think when you grow up, and I think it's better nowadays because we do have like access to weird people, and people don't feel like an asshole if they enjoy like strange things. But for me growing up, it was if you were an outcast, no one talked to you, so I didn't want to be that. So I tried so hard to hide my obsession with like Call of Duty, or like my obsession with commentaries on Call of Duty, or like I like being in front of the camera. I'm good in front of the camera. Like there's not a lot of people out there that I know who can sit in front of a camera for 45 minutes and and just not feel crazy. Like I feel comfortable in front of the camera. You put me up in 1,000 people and I'll talk in a room full of 1,000 people. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'll do this all day. But growing up, if I said that, it would have been insane. Like, I remember back in like 2013, 2014, I would walk through like a Best Buy, or I would walk through like a McDonald's, or I'd walk through, anywhere, just with a camera like in my face, like this vlogging, and everybody would look at you like, what are you doing? And I stopped it. And the reason why I stopped is because I let those people's opinions, those people that weren't weirdos, and maybe they were, maybe they're just closeted weirdos, but people that didn't do what I did, I let them dictate what I ended up doing. And it's not a regret that I have, but I'm upset with the person, with the old Michael. The reason why I'm upset with him is because he should have never listened. He should have just kept on doing what he did. He should have said, like, F you, I'm going to continue doing these vlogs. F you, I'm going to keep doing these YouTube Call of Duty commentaries, because that's what I love. And those people who did that, like, those people, the recipe is so simple. The people who say F you and just keep doing what they're doing for an extended period of time, they will always come to the top. They will always win. Because the one thing that I can tell you right now is if you do anything for an extended period of time, you will have growth. And that growth may not be noticeable. It may be very negligible, and most people may not even see it. And I guarantee you won't see it. I don't see the growth at all on anything I do. The vlogs or the podcast, or, being a boyfriend, being a best friend, being whatever. I never see the growth, but it's there. And I'm telling you right now, if you do anything, if you're doing anything right now that seems strange, if it's a hobby, if it's a side gig, keep doing it. Do not stop doing it. Even on the days where you're like, this is exhausting. I can tell you right now, before I went on vacation, I had to do like 3 podcasts, a vlog. And you think I was excited to do a podcast on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to upload Tuesday, Thursday, and Tuesday? No, not excited. But guess what? That's where the cream rises to the top. That's how you end up becoming successful. That's how you end up progressing when other people do not progress. Because here's the truth. The CEOs of companies, the people who are at the top positions, the surgeons, the people who are at the top, most of them, I got nasty mosquito bites on my arm. I hate carbs again, dude. And my body just falls apart. It's crazy, dude. People don't realize like that shit is poison. I'm not an anti-carb guy. I guess I am an anti-carb guy, but I love them, so I eat them because I have control issues. But my God, dude, my body just falls apart when I have carbs. It's so weird. I wish it wasn't like that. It just falls apart. Now, I had like 3 Hot Pockets and a bunch of chips and chocolates, so maybe that was it. But like when I eat just a protein fat-based diet, I feel so good. And I'm actually I'm going to do a 24-hour fast just in preparation for vacation. That's so unhealthy. It's crazy that I said that, but that's what I'm going to do. I didn't eat till 6 p.m. yesterday, and I'm not going to eat till around noon tomorrow. Anyways, but the people who end up at the top, they just don't quit. Like, it's not that I don't feel like it's that hard. I don't feel like it takes I don't think you need a special talent. You just need enough to get started. Because if you have enough to get started, if you have enough to start a podcast, you're intended to do a podcast. So you should do a podcast. If you want to do it, if you went out of your way to buy, I'm sitting right now in front of $5,000 worth of equipment, probably $5,000 worth of equipment. When I bought this, I didn't think about the money at all. It was something I wanted to do. So for someone to tell me, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that podcast, it's not good. Or hey man, what are you doing in that podcast? You're wasting your time. It's like, hey dude, no, I'm not. I busted my ass. I made this table with my own hands. Like, I busted my ass, and just do it. Just do anything for a long period of time and you will win. That's why surgeons are surgeons. That's why lawyers are lawyers. That's why, the top politicians are top politicians, because they just don't get out of the race. If you just keep running the marathon, you will finish. The only way you don't finish the marathon is if you pull off to the side. And like, that's my mindset. Like, when I wanted to run a marathon, I'm going to run a marathon. I want to do it by my birthday, by my 25th birthday. People tell me like, how are you gonna do it? And to me it's such a dumb question. I'm like, what do you mean, how are you gonna run a marathon? You just keep going. Like, you just keep going. And so like, but it's hard. I'm like, yeah, well, of course it's hard. Like, why would it be easy? Like, that's crazy to me. You just keep going. You just put one foot in front of the other. If you got to walk, you walk it out. If you got to run, you run it out. Like, the same thing with like vlogs. Like, you just keep putting a vlog out each week. You can do the Casey Neistat where you just put out a daily vlog. You can do the Gary Vaynerchuk, the daily vlog. You can do that, but you just keep going. Like, you just keep doing the podcast, and you just don't make excuses. And then when times come where you're like, damn, I don't want to do the podcast, or damn, I don't want to do the vlog, or people aren't watching this week. Like, just keep going. Like, you got to deal with like the times where it sucks, because sometimes, like, to be perfectly honest with my podcast, there was a few months there where my views just hit the gutter. And why? I don't know. Maybe I wasn't promoting as much. Maybe my content sucked, or maybe people just weren't watching because the world's reopening. And when I started the podcast, I got lucky because that's when people shut down. Everyone was at home listening to everything you could. And maybe I lost a few thousand viewers because of that. I don't know. I still have tens of thousands of listeners, like it doesn't affect, it shouldn't affect you. If you start something for the right reason, just keep on going day in and day out, and don't stop. Just don't stop. And it sounds so simple, but people don't listen. Like, people end up getting PhDs. And the reason why they get PhDs is because, yes, what they're doing is hard, but at the same time, the reason why they get the PhDs is because someone told them, like, Like society has told them it's going to take 12 years for you to get a PhD after high school. Like you're not going to get a PhD to 20. Like I don't know, how long does it take to be? How long does it take to get a PhD? I don't even know. That's how dumb I am. Length to completion. On average, it takes 8 years to earn a PhD. Even still, completing doctoral coursework and a dissertation in 3 to 4 years is not unheard of. How quickly can you? Yeah, I mean, so it takes 8 years. So if you graduate high school at 18 years old, you're not going to get a PhD to 26 or 30 years old, dude. But the reason why you end up doing it and you graduate is because the expectation is 8 years, you know? But like people don't do that with creative work. People don't do that with vlogs. People don't do that with podcasts. Look, if I stop doing this podcast right now, that's only 2 years. Who knows? If I just doubled my numbers in 2 more years, hundreds of thousands of downloads. Another 2 years, like 200,000. It's exponential growth. People listen. People aren't just going to turn off your content. People are just not going to just stop watching you. People are going to continue to come in. There's 7 billion people in the world. I guarantee you can get a couple thousand people to do it. And your content will get better. If you invest in yourself, your content will get better. But if you go in the framework that it should work in a year or 2 years or 3 years, you're done. Just walk out. Turn around and walk out the door. But if you can look at it like in a PhD mindset where it's going to take me 8 to 12 years, I guarantee you're going to do well. And then the excuses come, well, you know, it's not helping me progress in life. It's like, what is then? The job that you hate to make the income that you are barely getting by? Like, what are you talking about? Doing something that you love isn't helpful to your life? Like, what are you talking about? Like, money is a great thing. Money is just a tool to reach freedom. But shouldn't you do things that you love? And that's like, I don't know. I can't stand when people do that. Like, what's it doing for you? What do you mean, what's it doing? For me, it's allowing me to create. It's allowing me to do what I love. You can't put a value on that. That is insurmountable. Is that a word? Like that, like the value that comes to that is insane. Is insane. And then, you know, if people in your life don't support you, like fuck them. Like, you can't be in that situation. I'm so grateful that I have a girlfriend that, she deals with me on a daily basis. And like I said at the beginning, I'm a lunatic. So I'll say some crazy things to her and she'll be like, okay, I'm not going to stop you because I can't stop you because you're going to do it. But just try to balance it out a little bit. And I'm like, oh, and like before I would be like, fuck you. What are you talking about? You don't care about my life. Like, you're not supporting me on my goals. It's like, oh no, Mike, here we go. This is what it is. You can do what you want to do, but guess what? You need to find balance with what you do. So that's what I've been able to do. And, I don't know. I just wanted to speak on that because I know a lot of people in my life that you can just see what they want to do. It's like, they just don't do it because they're caught up, like, I don't know, feeding this false narrative of what they think they need to do. Like, I don't know. I see so many people that are, close family members too, that like they're doing these bullshit things that that like when people say like you're a different person, like outside of work, it's like, whoa, don't do that, man. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't agree with that narrative at all. I'm the same person at work. I'm the same person on the podcast. I'm the same person to everybody because I think I thoroughly enjoy what I do, And I'm a lucky motherfucker. Don't get me wrong on that. I know how damn lucky I am. But I also know how hard I work. I know how hard I work. I work hard. I work hard as shit. Like, I don't know how to edit. I've never edited anything in my life, like professionally. But what I do know is what I've forced myself. I've sat down here. I put in like these little memory flash things that I don't even know what are they called? Micro SDs. I just put these in my laptop before when I was doing the editing the podcast. I would just pop the thing in. I would just sit here like this. I was like, what is going on? I had no idea what was going on. And then I didn't know where do you edit? Like, how do you got to extract my voice from the roadcaster and you got to turn down the video thing. Like, I have no idea. What are you talking about? Give me, like, what are we doing? But you just do it. You just you just go off your intuition. If you wait to do anything in life because you're not a professional, if you want to be a professional, if you want to be an expert in before you do anything, you're going to die a miserable person because it doesn't work that way. Like, you become an expert on trying things. Like, if you know people who are like expert coders, like when they started coding, when their ignorance, like there's something beautiful about arrogance, or ignorance. There's something beautiful about ignorance because you don't know what the hell you're doing. But that's where the progress is made, when you have no idea what you're doing. Where you're just sitting there on your computer, you have iMovie up, or you have Final Cut Pro up, and you're just sitting there staring at the wall, looking up on YouTube, how do I edit up a podcast? That's where the passion is set. And that's where the thing clicks in your head. You're like, oh, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to do it, but let's learn. And then you learn. You know? I think that's where growth sets in. You know, that's that, you have that phrase that people say, growth mindset. You got to have a growth mindset. I don't believe in any of that shit. Like, fuck you with your growth mindset. If you don't have a mindset where you want to get better, you're not going to get there. You can do things, maybe have it for a little bit, but like, if you don't have it from the beginning, dude, I don't know what to tell you. And most likely you do have it, you just haven't found what you want to do. Or you know exactly what you want to do, but you're playing these stupid games with people. You're playing this stupid game with anxiety, with society, and you're lying to yourself. And you're doing things that you hate, but meanwhile, you just want to play poker all day. Or meanwhile, you just want to go fishing all day. But you don't go fishing because people tell you that you can't go fishing because fishing doesn't do anything for you. But guess what fishing does do if you love fishing? Fishing makes you feel better. And what happens when you feel better? You have better relationships with yourself and with the world around you. And guess what happens when you do that? You create better and happier environments for yourself. You probably get jobs that you're happier at. You probably interact with people in a happier manner. So people view you different. You view people different. You view the world different. If you're just miserable all day, you probably view this world as just a piece of shit. And my dog will not stop barking. You probably just view this world just out to get you all the time. And that's understandable. That is totally understandable if you are not doing anything in your life that you are passionate about. That makes perfect sense. The moment somebody finds something that they enjoy doing, that brings them real value, makes them feel good, makes them excited to get up every day. I've been there. I've been there before where I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, you're just caught up in this rut. The best way to get out of a rut is just do something creative. Do something that if you told society that you're doing, they will roll their eyes. Do that. We got to timestamp that. That's good. Do the thing that society will roll their eyes when you tell them that you're doing it. Do that. I'm telling you, do that. Because that is where you will find joy. Yeah. I listened to this beautiful podcast. You guys see that? I got like a massive pimple thing on my freaking arm. How's the market doing today? Sorry. I know. I'm not a professional. I enjoy doing it. I'm not a professional though. Oh yeah, market's up big time, dude. The stocks are going crazy lately, man. I got that ARK. Yo, what do you guys know about that ARK, man? That thing is up. ARK X. Kathy Wood, dude. I love Kathy Wood. She is such a savage, dude. When people talk about women power, like Kathy Wood should be at the top of every list of every woman in the world, dude. She is a savage. Like, I am genuinely so excited for her. She runs ARK Investments. ARK Investments. They're an asset management company. Their Management LLC is an investment management firm based in New York City that manages several actively managed funds, and they do disruptive industry. She is a savage, dude. They're creating a Bitcoin ETF under the symbol ARKB. Like, I'm telling you right now, she's gonna be she's already a winner, right? Like, whenever someone comes along and literally they say we invest in disruptive, the reason why things are disruptive is because in order to get rid of the past, you need to force the future in, and then the future creates it. It continues to grow. Like, when I saw this investment, when I saw this ETF go public, her space exploration one. I was, I contacted their company and everything. I was like, I want to get into it. I only own about 100 shares, so I don't own that much. But it's going to be such a massive ETF. And there's times in people's life, this is not financial advice, so do not take advice from me. This is just what I do. I'm not giving anybody financial advice at all. So if you do that and then you fuck up, don't come to me. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not telling anybody to do what I'm doing. Disclaimer. But at the same time, when I saw this ETF go, I was like, holy crap, space exploration. Back in the 20s, when the Model T came out, people were like, what are you doing? You're going to get on 4 rubber wheels on top of a bomb and drive? Like, you're insane. Don't do that. Get on the horse. The horse it may be slow, but it'll get you there in one piece. Everybody had a car. And you're seeing the same thing now with Tesla. When Tesla was coming around in 2015, 2016, it was like, why would you use electric? Gas is where it's at. And now look, Dodge and, Ford, these guys are, I think, isn't it GM? What's the one that the Lightning truck? What's it called? Dodge Lightning truck? Nope. Ford. Maybe it's Ford. Lightning truck. Is that it? Nope. New electric truck. Boom. The futuristic, all electric. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Rivian 20. No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Ford. Chevy? No, I'm an idiot. I should know that because I should know it. But whenever these things come around and they're like, people don't understand what they are. People are like, this is confusing. What is this? Well, guess what? That's going to be the future, because it takes a small minority to embrace what's happening, to embrace the disruption. If you embrace the disruption, people will follow along. And what's going to happen, I guarantee you, between 5 to 10 years, people will be taking vacations to space. You're going to know people that they vacation to the atmosphere, into space. It's going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. And if it sounds crazy, because why does it sound crazy? Why does this? I think it sounds crazy because no one does it. No, you don't know anyone who does it. But it's going to be here. Virgin Galactic just got approved by the FAA for space travel. What more do you need? The FAA is not full of dummies. I trash our government all the time, but that's, a lot of that's for comedy purposes. A lot of that's just because, fun. But they're not dummies. There's a reason why they're out there approving for space travel. And then you got JetBlue, Blue Origin with Jeff Bezos, who's worth $200 billion. Shout out to him for employing millions of people, which people forget when they trash on him. He employs millions of people. And I understand the union thing. I think maybe they should be unionized, but they never will be unionized. Walmart's not even unionized, which is fascinating because no one really talks about that. Let me double check that. Is Walmart union? With 1.3 million U.S. employees, more than population of Vermont and Wyoming combined, Walmart is by far the nation's largest private sector employer. It's also one of the nation's most aggressive anti-union companies with a long history of trying to squelch unionization. Yeah, so they're not unionized. But you have Blue Origin and Jeff Bezos trying to get to Mars or just space exploration. I think he's going this month, maybe. I think July, maybe August. You got Elon Musk, with SpaceX. They're going to be going to Mars. You got Virgin Galactic, and I'm sure you got 3, 4, 5, 6 other ones. It's just gonna happen, so when I saw this portfolio go public, basically what this ETF is, I can pull up ArcX Holdings. I'm finally up though. I haven't been up in this ETF for a long time, but that's a long-term holding. TRMB Tremble. 9.3%, the 3D printing ETF. That's so fascinating because when you do get to space, you're going to need to print things. You can't just, if you can just bring up a printer and you can make things, then that's what you want to do. So that's what they're going to do that for. Defense and security, Kratos, Iridium, Lockheed, Amazon's in there. I don't think she owns any Tesla, but like once Starlink goes public, once SpaceX goes public, once Blue Origin goes public, those are going to be our top holdings. And it's going to be an ETF that, in my humble opinion, I think it's going to be worth like $300 by 2025, 2030. And I don't think you can stop it. I think by the end of this year, it's going to be worth $30. I think I'm going to be up 100% on I think I'm going to be up at least 50% by the end of the year. At least 50%. Yeah, even more. Because that's the way we're going. That's the way the future's moving. And that's, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you fight against that, you're going to lose. People that fight against progress are the ones who usually get left behind. And they're usually the ones that are grumpy when they get older. The people who missed out on the internet, they're upset that they hate the internet. The people who missed out on electric cars, they don't like electric cars. The people who are going to miss out on space exploration, they're going to hate space exploration. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So what else is going on? I got a book from somebody at the gym. He bought me a book called Tattoo on the Heart. These books are going to fall. By Gregory Boyle. He's a Jesuit priest and the founder of executive director of Homeboy Industries. He makes approximately 200 speaking appearances per year and has received numerous humanitarian awards, among them the California Peace Prize. He lives in Los Angeles. It's a great book. The guy who got me this, one of our mutual friends, ended up passing away, and it was one of the last things that he was given by this guy, and he offered it to me, and it's so fascinating. The older I get, when people offer you things, like when someone recommends a book, when someone gives you a book to read, like it's amazing. It really is. Like, I have a book up here that reminds me of that guy who changed the way I deal with money, like the joys of compounding and psychology of money. Like, he changed the way I look at money, and it's I can't believe he passed away. And it's a great book. I read it. It was about 200 pages. It was a really easy read, really short book, like really easy font, not hard to read. One of the easiest books I've ever read, but one of the most impactful books I've ever read. I cried at a few points. It talks about like this guy. He's basically just trying to help gang members and people get off the street and change their life. And honestly, what was so hard about this book is he failed a lot. He didn't fail, but the kids ended up dying. They ended up getting shot. They ended up getting murdered. They ended up not being alive anymore. They died, and it was hard to read, but Jesus Christ, it's so gonna fall. Whew, I was hanging on. I think people forget just how delicate life is. Like, there's nothing holding you from dying right now. There's nothing. It's your heart. It's literally just your heart. That's the only thing that's keeping you alive, and that could give out like that. And it was a powerful book, man. And, shout out to him. I don't want to say his name because I don't think he even knows I have a podcast. And if he does know, I don't think he wants me to talk about him. It's a sensitive topic, but I'm so grateful that people do that. Like, I have another book here. I got 3 books I need to read. They're all about God. People love to share their experiences with you. And, old me would have been like, fuck you. Like, why are you doing this? Let me read what I want to read. I don't want to read what you're giving me. But it's not like that anymore. I want to read what people give me. I care. I got a book called The Reason for God that I need to read, Making Sense of God, 2 more God books. And then it's kind of hilarious. I got a book that's like, it's not anti-God, but it's like, it shows like, it goes in like the secret underworld of the Vatican and the CIA. But this guy got me a book called Older Guy. It's just a fascinating. This guy comes in, a beautiful man. Like, his soul is so pure. He's an amazing guy. He comes in on the weekends, and I look forward to speaking to him each time. He's one of those anti-sir guys. Like, he doesn't want you to call him sir. you know. And growing up or being a server for 4 years, I called people sir, and then you had some people who said don't call me sir, and I would call them sir again because I don't know what else to call people that are my elder. I even call people younger than me sir. To me it's just proper. I was brought up that way. I was brought up by cops as yes ma'am, no sir, yes yes sir, no ma'am. It's that. It's thank you, it's you're welcome. It's common respect for people, honestly. And he's an amazing guy, and he comes in, talks to me about his family, about his life. And he's such a smart guy. He's a biologist, and I love having conversations with him. And he told me that he is 40 years sober. I think he said 40 years sober. And he's 80 years old. So he went sober in 1981. And he's been sober since then. I said, that's amazing, dude. How do you do that? Like, how do you go 40 years sober? And he said it's not that hard if you just if you take it on a day by day basis. And that was powerful, man. It's so powerful because you don't do that. I don't do that. I'm young, so I'm a young gunner. I just get out there and I just go balls to the wall. And that's good. Working hard is good. It's a good thing. And I'm gonna contradict myself again, like I said at the beginning of the podcast. I'm gonna contradict everything I said. But it's a good thing to work hard, but at the same time, taking things day by day is super valuable. And the more people I meet, more people that are older, but also people who had they've had a rough past, whether it be drugs and alcohol or addiction or whatever, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, opioids, or just battles with anxiety and depression. You realize that it's day by day. It's a win. It's a daily win. If you can win 5 days out of 7, that's a pretty fucking good percentage, dude. And he's just a nice dude, and he recommended me to read this book. He said it will change your life. It's a nonfiction book. It's called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. I've looked it up online, and it's one of like the most popular books. People say it will change your life. A book that changes lives. It's the subtitle here, but he told me it would change my life, and I look at the things online, and people do say it does change your life. I have no idea what it's about. It looks like it's about like a world champion college guy who dark dreams. I don't know. Socrates. Oh, he meets Socrates. But I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna crush at the lake. I'm gonna probably talk about it on the podcast on Thursday. It looks like an easy read. Then I'm gonna get back into the gulag. I want to have the gulag finished by school. School starts late August, I believe. After I finish up my one class I'm doing right now. And then there's a really good book I want to read. Still Nothingness. It's a book I got probably 3 or 4 months ago. It's like a 1,000-page book, but it's a really good philosophy book. It's a psychology book, and it's about existentialism, which is something I've been into a lot. Like I love studying about nihilism and existentialism. Not really too much as I used to. I used to be big into that stuff. I haven't grown away from it, but like I guess I've been reading different stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know who I was before I read. Like, I don't know. I was probably just walking through this world, just saying and doing whatever and not actually being thoughtful about what I said. But reading is go back to episode 1. I have 6 books right here. I have 40 books right here. 40 books, dude. Knowledge is right there at your fingertips. Just get it. It's right there. That is incredible to me. That knowledge is just free. It's just free. I mean, it's not free. What is free? Go to your local library. It's free to check out a book. It's right there. To change your life, it is free. To become a smarter individual, it's free. To become less ignorant, it's free. To make new friends, it's free. Dan Millman. I'm gonna crush this book. It's gonna be an easy book to read. But it has it's a parenthesis book, or it's a quotation book, which I just call a quotation book because it's a story. I don't read a lot of storybooks. I pretty much only read. I don't think there's one fiction book up here. I don't think I have one fiction book up here. I don't have any fiction books. I don't read fiction. I should start reading fiction. There's a lot of Jordan Peterson talks. There's a lot of like creativity that can be found in it. It's a good escape for our minds. I never really got into it. But I will eventually read fiction. But as of right now, I'm just reading nonfiction. I'm just trying to be smarter. I don't want to get Alzheimer's. That's why I started reading, because I know that reading helps deflect Alzheimer's. Keeps your brain functioning at a higher level. But I don't really think I have anything else to talk about. Next episode, I'm going to talk about my experience, or not my experience. That's so dumb, my experience, but my time away on vacation. I'm going to come back tan as hell. I'll be looking brown, dog, like a tree. I'm going to come back super duper tan. Hopefully I go skiing. Hopefully I don't come back broken. That would suck if I came back broken, because I go out and I tear my ACL. But yeah, I don't think I really have much more to get into. I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast here. 40-minute podcast. Again, I've been a lot more consistent with that. I like to do 40-minute podcasts. Not too long, not too short. There's only like 2 or 3 podcasts. Actually, I listen to the majority of my podcasts all the way through. Theo, Crystalia, Joe Rogan, I listen to all his podcasts pretty much all the way through. But 40 minutes is usually the mark where I get kind of bored if I don't really like it. So I try to get, even if you don't like it, you probably make it through 40 minutes. Maybe, I don't know. Or you make it to 1 minute, or you just don't watch. And you roll your eyes every time I upload something because you think I'm the most self-conceited person in the world. But I'm also narcissistic for thinking that you think that. So you're right. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for showing me so much love on the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you want to do. Tell people about the podcast. That helps me a lot. Also, first link in the description box below. There is a place where you can donate money if you want to. With that being said, guys, peace out. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you guys in episode 208, I believe, of the Michael Live Show. Peace out. See you.